Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
My partner in crime, Tony, has a story called Mr. Green.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming tonight. Are there any police here, by the way? No? Okay, I'm not going to talk about smuggling or anything like that. I'm not going to talk about that time I smuggled ammo through on my way to Mexico, but no, that never really happened. So back in the day, I was in scouting. I grew up and I had a great, childhood as a Boy Scout. And, we used to do a lot of hiking and a lot of backpacking. And, you can't not love backpacking, right? Has anyone ever done the Appalachian Trail here? Paula, you've done the Appalachian Trail? Okay, yeah. I didn't do the whole thing either. But when I moved into college, my college years, I thought, I've got these buddies. We've all been in scouting. We have it in us to do the Appalachian Trail. And we're like, well, no, we don't. We're really not going to do the Appalachian Trail. But we are going to try to do the Shenandoah National Forest, which is south of here. And if you've all walked any bit of that, it's basically up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And, I can basically summarize my whole couple of weeks on the AT as pain and rain, okay? Because as you're walking up hills, your right knee starts to go. And then as you walk downhill, your left ankle starts to go. And no matter how much singing or John Philip Sousa goes through your head to try to stimulate your marching ability with too much weight on your back, it's a little tough to keep that pace going because eventually your right ankle starts to go and your left ankle. And, I was a lifeguard. I was a really athletic guy back in those days, and I did a lot of, I was like, the guy I was with was an inspirational, because I was with two guys, my best friend and his brother. The brother was the guy who was the rabbit, and he was always running ahead and coming back to get us, So he was the inspiration, no pain, no gain there. My friend and I, we're kind of in the same boat. We were in the fraternities. We spent more time drinking beer and partying than we did actually out on the trail. But we thought, what the hell, we'll do this Appalachian Trail, in the summertime. And it was a 75 to 100 mile trip. It was no big deal, right? Well, it was raining for the most of the trip, and there was a lot of pain. And at the end of one particular stretch of 15 miles, it's probably an average day, 8 miles, we get to a campsite somewhere in after we've crossed so many roads and gone up and down so many hills, and it's pouring down rain, and we're looking for a campsite, and lo and behold, we've got on our rain jackets. We probably carried too much rain gear. Okay, we've got on pants, and we've got on the raincoats. My friend the rabbit's got a poncho and something else on, and some Birkenstocks. We're just wrapping up the day. We're looking for a place to camp. And we may have been under the influence a little bit because, there's no better time in a backpacker's career to, experiment a little bit. So we were high up there on our trip, okay? It was the end of the day, and we were coming in for a landing. We're like, no better time than the present. So, we're standing around, laughing at each other and giggling about how much everything hurts. And suddenly, one of us was inspired to just yell, you're wearing all green. You must be Mr. Green. And so for the next half an hour, we're just saying, Mr. Green, Mr. Green, and then Mr. Blue. Someone else was wearing wearing all blue, and he was Mr. Blue. So as that echoed down through the campsites and through the forest, we were all just thrilled with ourselves after that. The third guy was just Mr. Rain because he didn't have he wasn't all one color. He was multicolor, Technicolor guy. At some point while we were laughing at each other, some other couple comes in off the trail and they say, the guy walks up to me and my friend and as we're giggling and he said, hey y'all, how you doing? Which way do you pay? And my friend just pointed in that direction, and then I pointed in the other direction at the same time. And here I thought he said, which way do you pay? But he was actually asking, which way do you pee? And the outhouses were up that way. So that's been an ongoing thing, and which way do you pay? So eventually we cleaned up. We came down. We went to sleep. We had a wonderful trip, hitchhiking a lot of the rest of the trip, because it was in the national forest where there was a road, and it was very easy to do. So I think we took an RV the next 25 or 30 miles, played Frisbee at the end of the day. We had a great trip. So I'm just warning you all, if you're ever thinking about hiking or backpacking the Appalachian Trail, pack light, okay, and don't forget, always make eye contact with the people that you're about to be picked up by on the trip. So when you're hitchhiking, that works the best. Thank you.